Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Munchkin Forever. As always, we're gonna roll the die and see if we live or die. That is a 1. We are fucking dead. Get rid of our character, throw him off over there. And, alright, let's get into this. So, this is a review of the first Munchkin. And I love the first Munchkin. Obviously, it's the first. It does everything pretty well. There's tons of fun expansions for it. So let's get into this. I mean, first off, there are lots of funny enemies. These are a couple of the most funny that I wanted to showcase. We have a level 14 stone golem. You may choose whether to fight the stoned golem or just wave, walk past, and let him keep his treasure. Exception: halflings look tasty and must fight. Bad stuff: he has the munchies, he eats you, you're dead. So, I love the stoned golem because he is the biggest stoner in general. You know, he's very relatable to us all, and I think he's just awesome. And, you know, you don't have to fight him. He's just a nice guy, but he does get the munchies. So, unfortunately, if you're a halfling, it's over for you. You know, I mean, especially if you're a halfling and you just started the game and you get this level 14, well, you've just lost all your stuff. You've been murdered like I have been at the beginning of this review. Level 14 Insurance Salesman. Your level does not count. Fight him only with your bonuses. Just like an insurance salesman, you know, you get commission. Your commissions really is what's keeping the lights on. Bad stuff. You buy insurance. Lose 1,000 gold pieces worth of items. If you don't have that much, lose all you have. Oh. So these are pretty funny, but you know what? They're also pretty dangerous. Level 6 Lawyers. Will not attack a thief. Professional courtesy. A thief encountering a lawyer may instead discard 2 treasures and draw 2 new ones face down. That's pretty nice. Look at that grin. Bad stuff. He hits you with an injunction. Let each other player draw 1 card from your hand, starting with the player to your left. Discard any remainder. So, in this case, and this is one of the things that I really like about the first Munchkin, is the bad stuff for a monster could benefit other people in your game. You should level up these guys so your friends can give you some cards. Well, I guess they're not your friends anymore, and the game becomes FU, as Hector says. Level 1 Crabs. Obviously, it's level 1. You know, it can't do anything to you, but you gotta fight crabs. Bad stuff. Discard armor and all items worn below the waist. I don't know. I mean, if you have armor and shoes or something, how can you not beat a level 1 crab? Unless people, you know, mess with you and, you know, make this level 1 into like a level 14 or do a wandering monster, which I'm just about to explain. Most of the time you're going to beat it. But anyway, wandering monster. So if you're unfamiliar with Munchkin, like this is like the first time you're watching this review because you're like, what the hell is Munchkin? Well, the Wandering Monster is probably the best card in the game because you can play the card, and if you have another monster, you can add it to a monster already in play. And like, let's say you got like a level 20 plutonium dragon or something crazy like that. Well, like now that person's going to have to deal with a level 21 with the crabs. And especially if they're about to win, well, then it's over for them, hopefully. I also really like this card. If you're a cleric, it's Divine Intervention. You must play this card as soon as you get it. All clerics immediately go up a level. This can be the winning level. If this card makes you win, you are entitled to mock the other players mercilessly. So yeah, so like this is kind of an interesting card because you can win on this, but you can't stock it. It has to be played immediately. So like if you're level 10 and you draw this face up or, you know, face down, you know, then it's okay. But like if you just hold on to it and wait for the end, we can call you out for cheating. So there you go. I also have a couple of curse cards that I really like. Curse, chicken on your head, -1 to all your dice rolls. Any curse or bad stuff that removes your headgear will take the chicken with it. Curse, income tax. Discard one item of your choice. Every other player must now discard an item or items totaling at least as much value as the item you discarded. If they don't have enough to pay the full tax, they must discard all their items and lose a level. So in a weird way, this curse affects everyone. And it's one of those things where like everybody's going down from this curse. And you don't always see that in a lot of Munchkin variants. Curse, Duck of Doom. You should know better than to pick up a duck in a dungeon. Lose 2 levels. So yeah, so I just think that the first Munchkin, the original, the OG, is just full of humor, and that's part of the appeal to picking this up. And it definitely has a good place as well in terms of strategy and value and things in which are just so balanced in the game. I mean, this Munchkin has a lot of usable by certain classes or races only cards. Like for instance, like you have, this is only usable by halflings, this is only usable by thieves. Humans, you know, if you don't have a race card, you're a human. A lot of people forget that. And in a lot of other Munchkins, there aren't human only cards, you know, like it's just not thought about anymore. But this was the original, and they were like, okay, if you're not any race, you're just a normal human. Only usable by cleric, dwarf, elf, thief. This is just, you know, it's funny because it's a woman on the armor, but any sex can use it. It's not exclusive. There are some cards that are exclusive to certain sexes, or certain monsters won't attack women, things along that line. So sex does play a role in this, which in a lot of other ones it doesn't. Usable, not usable by warriors, so anyone else but a warrior can use it, because it's pantyhose of giant strength. A warrior would never use pantyhose. They're too I don't know, proud to use pantyhose, I guess. Here's one, Staff of Napalm, usable by wizard only. It makes sense, he's a wizard. So it just I like that there are all these cards, because the point of all of these usable by so-and-so cards is like, okay, another player, you know, hey, I see you're a wizard, I'll give you this napalm staff if you give me this singing and dancing sword, because I'm a thief. I can use this card. Let's make a trade, you know, but it's only a +2 bonus. Can you give me, you know, this other one? So now, you know, I'm trading you a bonus of 5 and you're giving me these. So it makes sense, right? So, there you go. Like, there you go. You have an economy of trading, and that can be really helpful, because otherwise, in other Munchkins, you'd probably just end up, you know, selling the items you're not using. But in this case scenario, you actually have something you can trade and improve your character, because let's face it, the beauty of Munchkin is you get what you get, and you got to improve on it. Like, that's pretty much it. Unless you find anything better, you get what you get. So we saw, you know, some weapons that can only be used by certain classes and races. Let's go over some of these classes and races, because I always think that classes, races, factions, whatever, you know, whatever they're called, they are what make up a specific variant of Munchkin. And they are really like some of the major strategies in the game, and really are the key components to making Munchkin fun. People get jealous because you have a class that they want, you know, goes along with their strategies a little bit more. So let's get into it. All right, so first we have a thief. You may discard a card to backstab another player, -2 in combat. You may do this only once per victim per combat, but if 2 players are fighting a monster together, you may backstab each of them. You also have another ability. You may discard a card to try to steal a small item carried by another player. roll a die. 4 or more succeeds, otherwise you get whacked and lose a level. So that's kind of the issue with Thief, is like a lot of people are not willing to take that risk. They definitely don't want to lose a level, but this is FU to the extreme. And you know what? Sometimes you get tired of winning and you want to just have fun and take some risks. Thief can be a really good card. Plus, if you do manage to steal certain small items, you know, you could impact the game. It is a little weird that it's only a small item. I think it should be anything. But yeah, because if it was anything, then the consequences would be pretty awesome. I also think you could stealing a random card from a player's hand might be a cool option. Again, you can make your own rules as long as you write them down and make them concrete rules. You can make your own rules about thieves, about anything, if you think it's going to make your version of Munchkin more fun. We also have a halfling. You may sell 1 item each turn for double price. Other items are at normal price. So for a long time we kind of played the wrong way with this card. We made all items double the price. This says you may sell 1 item each turn for double the price. So, but that's still very helpful, because if you have a card with 500 gold, you've just gone up a level. We also have another ability. If you fail your initial runaway roll, you may discard a card and try again once more. That's pretty awesome. Halflings are pretty awesome. They're level boosters. You can go up levels very, 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 very fast if you just keep getting good treasure. Cleric. When it is time for you to draw cards face up, you may instead take some or all from the top of the appropriate discard pile. You must then discard 1 card from your hand for each card so drawn. That is pretty awesome, because if there's something good in the discards that you know can help you out, the cleric is pretty cool. He's kind of like a Pathfinder, if you've ever played Pathfinder, but he only works in the discards. And you have to get rid of a card. So I guess he's nothing like a Pathfinder, but it's an interesting ability nonetheless. He's got this other ability, Turning. You may discard up to 3 cards in combat against an undead creature. Each discard gives you a +3 bonus. There are lots of other expansions with undead monsters, so maybe combining everything together boosts the cleric's worthiness of the second ability. But, you know, if it's not undead, then there's no point to it. So hopefully you get lucky and fight something undead that you can kill with that ability. Alright, Elf. +1 to run away. You go up a level for every monster you help someone else kill. Elves are very, very, very good. I put them on the same rank as a halfling. The cleric ability, a lot more people should use, definitely. Thieves, it's a little bit of a gamble. But elves, you know, early on, you're helping people out, people who couldn't normally defeat a monster. And you get some really nice, you get one of the best bonuses ever, which is you go up a level for helping someone. And elves are just amazing, and they're definitely very coveted in original Munchkin, or OG Munchkin. Warrior. You may discard up to 3 cards in combat. Each one gives you a +1 bonus, and you also win ties in combat. So basically, if you're tied with a monster, you lose. But a warrior, if you're tied with the monster, you always win. So in that regard, that can be really helpful, because towards the end of the game, someone might just be missing 1 point, and you win regardless. Other than that, warrior isn't like too crazy of a card, but I have seen this card win because it's broken ties. So that's pretty interesting. That can be an asset. All right, here we have another class, a wizard. You may discard up to 3 cards after rolling the die to run away. Each one gives you a +1 bonus to flee. This can save your life. Wizards can be very helpful. Also, you may discard your whole hand, minimum 3 cards, to charm a single monster instead of fighting it. discard the monster and take its treasure, but don't gain levels. If there are other monsters in combat, fight them normally. So, you know, let's say you see a level 20 monster, you know, charm it and see if you can get some new treasure. Like, let's say, you know, the treasure you got now is not doing too well for you. So, you know, see, there's some opportunity in this card, basically. And last, we have a dwarf. You can carry any number of big items. That's pretty nice. And also, you can have 6 cards in your hand, because normally you can only have 5. The dwarf is something that I see a lot of people replacing when they get another race, but it is helpful for that extra 6. Carrying any number of big items is nice always, you know, more items, more fun. So in conclusion, you know, this is just a really fun start to the series if you're new. Obviously you want to, you know, read the rules a little bit if you are new and figure that stuff out. But I just wanted to go over some of my favorite cards from the series, because that's really what makes it for me, is just how silly and how interesting the strategies can be for a game like this. It seems, you know, for what it is, it's like, it's a little more complicated when you get down to it, but face value, it's very simple. You know, it's just really about like reading the cards and seeing what they do. And I really like it because you're dealt the cards that you're gonna play with, and then, you know, any cards you pick up, that you got to work with that in your strategy. And I like that in that regard, because other card games like I was gonna say Munchkin, no, not Munchkin. Other card games like Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh, although they have their place in the world, you know, and I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of fun with them, they get very expensive very quick. And sometimes it's like you find a rare card and you're paying, I mean, there's so many instances where somebody's buying the same pack every week, maybe twice a week, and it's just to get one card. And it's like, how much money do you have to put in to get, you know, all these nice cards? And obviously, like, it's not just about cards, it's about your strategy. But at the same time, it's like Munchkin, you buy the cards, it's by chance you get your strategy, and then you got to build a strategy on that. And I like that so much more than collecting Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic cards, because at the end of the day, it's cheaper and everyone can have fun. You know, you don't need a Munchkin deck. You know, like, your friend doesn't need to come over with a Munchkin deck to battle you. Everyone's got all the cards already. And yes, a lot of it can be luck, but it's also how you work with that luck and the balance that the game is given for you to succeed. So all in all, I like that so much more. And I thoroughly recommend this. This is a 5 out of 5. The more expansions you put on it, it just becomes a 5.1, a 5.2, you know, 5.3 in my opinion. Let's face it, eventually you're gonna get bored of just the original setup. You're gonna want to get some expansions. The first couple of expansions are pretty awesome. You know, you get steeds, you get new races, new classes. It's fun, you know, and that's where the money starts adding up. But I still think it's cheaper than Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh. So yeah, so this is just some of the most fun I've ever had playing a board game, and I thoroughly recommend it to anyone who likes the concept of this. It's a little nerdy, it's a little funny, it combines it, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. And that's something we all need in our lives. Things that aren't taking themselves extremely seriously. We need some levity once in a while, right? Right? So anyway, guys and girls, enjoy yourselves, have fun, and I hope to see, you know, what Munchkins you acquire and what Munchkins you play. You know, I mean, go searching, go get a Munchkin you think might be interesting. Get the original. I mean, it's the best place to start. I I would be wary of Munchkins that are a little gimmicky. I would be a little bit wary of Nightmare Before Christmas Munchkin or Harry Potter Munchkin. It might fall a little flat in terms of the humor, and it might not have as much backstabbing as the normal game does. Like, it might lose the flair and appeal of the original, because I definitely want all the Munchkins to have that flair. Like, if the Harry Potter version had like little animated Munchkins and played the same way, I would definitely recommend it. I mean, I think it's cool to have like the houses and stuff from Hogwarts and whatnot, but it's not gonna feel the same, unfortunately. So it's kind of like buyer beware, and that's kind of why I like doing these reviews and finding new Munchkins to play, because then I can tell people like, oh, well, here's the aspects of it that I like, and here's what I can do to save you a little bit of money, because like, if you feel the same way about it as I do, if you like these concepts from these specific variants of Munchkin, then you're going to enjoy this. But if not, then you're not.